Hi, I'm Kenny Fry, the Bat Fry Kenny Fry, and you may remember me from such podcasts as the Silver and Black Lair Las Vegas Raiders edition, Silver and Black Lair LA Kings edition, The Bat Cave talking New York Mets, and also the Atomic Drop podcast talking WWE wrestling from Out of the Box Sports. Check them out at OOT Box Sports as well. Uh, so some Raider news, big Raider news here happening in the last hour or so. That I want to talk about real quick here on the live. The Raiders trade for Geno Smith, so they get their veteran quarterback. And it's kind of funny that it was Geno Smith because on my podcast earlier from this morning on Out of the Box Sports Silver and Black Lair Las Vegas Raiders edition, I brought up Geno Smith. I was talking about Geno, and no, you know what? It was on the on Thursday night. It was on the NFL Weekly Talk on Out of the Box Sports with Paul and Dan. That's where it was. They were talking about the Seattle Seahawks, and I brought up Geno Smith saying, I think this, he's on his last leg here. I think this is it for Geno. I see regression, and I just feel like he has probably 2 good years, 3 good years tops left in him, where he's a top 15 type quarterback. So, and I still believe that. I still believe that, even though he's a Raider now, and and so the Raiders traded him or trade for him. They trade a third round pick in 2025 draft, this upcoming draft, pick number 68 or 73. We have the 73rd overall pick from the New York Jets. That was included in the Devontae Adams trade. That turned into a number 73, 73rd overall pick in the third round. So it's 68 or 73. And we get our bridge quarterback. I still believe the Raiders will draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft, and I do believe that quarterback will sit at least one season. So this is the last year of Geno's contract. Geno, a 34-year-old quarterback right now, uh, is said. The rumor is that he's looking for between 40 and 44 million dollars a season. I don't know how many years the lad is looking for. I don't know if the Raiders are the team to give him 40 to 45 million dollars. The Raiders have it right now in cap space, but I don't know if they want to sign him beyond this upcoming season. If it's something, add another year to it, extend him out, to 3 years, including this year, and then two more after that. I don't know if that's in the cards or not, but he's very familiar with Pete Carroll, the Raiders' new head coach. He played under Pete for 4 seasons up in Seattle, and he had some really good years, good seasons with Pete. 2022 was his best season of his career, and it was under Pete Carroll. 17 games started, 9-8 record, completion percentage of 69.8%, phenomenal. 4,282 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, which was a career best for him. 11 interceptions, 366 rush yards, and that was the resurgence of Geno Smith right there. The 2022, he had his shortcomings with the Jets. He was a second round pick with the Jets back in 2013. You know, shortcomings there, and basically Geno was buried. He was dead. After a couple seasons with the Jets, nobody considered him a top notch or a starting quarterback again in this league. And when he was picked up by Seattle, a lot of people kind of looked at that, kind of scoffed at it. Well, they got Russ. What do they need Geno for? Well, then I don't remember if Russ got hurt or if it was when he was traded when Geno got his shot. I think it was after Russ was traded to Denver. Geno got his shot and burst back onto the scene. Absolutely burst onto the scene, and it makes you wonder what the hell the Jets did with him. But he looked phenomenal. He got the right coaching, got the right team around him. It also helped that he had Lockett and DK Metcalf, receiver catching balls for him as well. Good defense, good offensive line. So a lot of that helped. Uh, but he flourished. It wasn't just a flash in the pan. He saw some consistency. 2023, 15 games started, 8-7 record, 64.7 completion percentage, 3,624 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 155 rush yards. Again, if he plays the full season there, those stats would be a little bit more inflated, probably be over 4,000 yards again passing. You'd have to figure probably 20 to 22 to 25 touchdown passes if he played a full season. 2024 last season, not under Pete Carroll. Pete was in the special advisor's role then up in Seattle. 17 games started, 10-7 record, Uh, 70.4% completion percentage. That was a career high for him. 4,320 yards passing, career high. 21 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, though. Interceptions jumped up. 272 rush yards. But still, you look at the completion percentage, high completion percentage, and and a lot of yards. The mistakes, though, the interceptions, it makes you wonder if he was trying to do too much. I don't remember what game it was last season that I was watching with Geno Smith, but he was trying to win the game on his own, and he's out there trying to squeeze balls, squeeze the ball into tight windows that he didn't really have to. He didn't have to. If he go through his progression, he wouldn't have to fit. But he's looking for the big play, trying to get his team a win, and you kind of appreciate that. But you also have to appreciate the magnitude of the situation. Live to fight another day instead of just out there turning the ball over and whatnot. Uh, so accurate, durable, and I'm excited. I am excited. I'm more excited for Gino than I was for Jimmy Garoppolo when the Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo. I just feel this is a little bit different. It could be the coaching, or just I just didn't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. I do believe in Gino in the short term. I don't believe in Gino in the long term. I don't think the Raiders go out and sign him for 4+ years or anything like that. If anything, like I said, they extend him out 2 years and uh, and go from there. Uh, and he'll be the bridge quarterback. The Raiders will draft a quarterback this year. The kid McLean from Syracuse or Jackson Dart. Those are two guys that I liked. I mentioned them earlier this morning on my podcast, the Silver and Black Layer on Out of the Box Sports, or here on the Bat Cave, this YouTube channel. So you'll throw a subscription our way. I'd appreciate it very much. But anyway, he'll be the bridge quarterback. He'll have the quarterback that the Raiders draft sit under him for a year or two. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Aiden O'Connell. It's been put out there. Aiden O'Connell's putting a bunch of extra work, a lot of film study with Tom Brady, and has also put on a little bit of muscle. Hopefully, it's on his bird legs, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if he has any quads now. Maybe a calf muscle or two. That'd be nice to see. But he is an oddly shaped man. Um, Gino, obviously more athletic, and it's something that you need in the Chip Kelly system. You have your RPOs and stuff, and options and what have you, and moving the quarterback around a lot, and that screams Geno Smith, compared to Aiden O'Connell. It's a report also out there that the Raiders will be releasing Gardner Minshew, so that's another opening there in the quarterback room. So right now you're looking at Aiden O'Connell and Geno Smith. And like I said, I do believe the Raiders will draft a quarterback. And I don't think it'll be with the number 6 overall pick. I really don't. I don't think Shador will be there. I don't think Cam Ward. I definitely don't think Cam Ward will be there. It seems like he'll be the first quarterback gone, from what all the experts have been saying. But I do think they'll keep their number 6 overall pick and possibly try to trade up with their second round pick and back into the first round. But if they do any trading early on, pick wise, I think they would trade their number 6 pick to drop back and maybe select a quarterback late first round. But if they don't select a quarterback with their number 6 overall pick, which I don't think they will, I think they definitely will with their second round pick, and I think it'll be McLean or Jackson Dart. And like I said, I think they'll sit. They'll sit at definitely one season, and if Geno's playing well, it could turn into multiple seasons. And that's not unprecedented either. We've seen Aaron Rodgers. He's had a few seasons behind Brett Favre. So that's the most recent that I could think of. Brett Favre sat for a couple seasons as well down in Atlanta, and then he was traded to Green Bay before he got his opportunity. So it's not unprecedented. It's worked out, and you just don't see it anymore. You don't see it anymore. It's you get drafted in the first round, you're expected to start. You're expected to be a key contributor right off the bat. And I think in a lot of ways, especially with quarterbacks, that's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. There's a lot to learn, a lot to uh, to get used to, more film study, the speed of the game, and stuff like that. So progressions, different type defenses. Where this quarterback that's in college, it might have the system might have been dumbed down for him just because he's a really good quarterback. he might be struggling with reads and reading defenses. Well, then the college system will acquiesce to him and dumb down the system just because they have a superior team than what they're playing. That I'm sure that happens all the time. I did see something with uh, Johnny. What the hell's his last name? I can't think. Johnny Football. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head right now. But he was talking. He was doing an interview and he was talking about coming up and in the quarterback room in the NFL, trying to learn what like cover three is and cover two because he didn't know. He said he didn't have to know that in college. He said he just went out there and did his thing. Threw the ball, ran the ball, and made plays. They were just that superior of a team to most of the teams that they were playing that he didn't have to know the coverages. They didn't have to know the defense. So he's trying to learn. And I do think that happens more often than not with college quarterbacks nowadays. Because they're thrown in there. They just like a first round draft pick. You bring in a college quarterback that's a 5-star, 4 or 5-star level recruit. He's expected to start, freshman, sophomore year, and they may not be ready yet, but they have superior athletic talent. They'll be thrown out there, and for the most part, they'll probably be just fine. It's the mental part of the mental aspect part of the game that they struggle with, and sometimes it takes some time to catch up to the league. And then that very may well be what happened with Geno Smith early on with the Jets. Struggling with the Jets, just didn't look very good and couldn't find the consistency. And, the Jets gave up on him. And it could be that just he wasn't, the physical attributes were there, just maybe that the mental side of it wasn't that quite there yet. Now the mental side's there, making smart plays, high completion percentages. He caught up to the league. So yeah, I'm excited for the Raiders. I'm excited to see what he can bring as a bridge quarterback. And like I said, that's all I think he's going to be as a bridge quarterback. And going on from there. Also, a little bit more Raider news today. Of course, all this happens after I do my podcast, so it never happens before or during. It's frustrating. But the Raiders plan to release Andre James, center Andre James. They just re-signed him last season to 3 years. Before last season, 3 years, $24 million. So if they release him post June 1st, it'll cost the Raiders 5.57 in dead money, but they'll also save 3.15 against the cap. So it's a little bit of a savings there. And I mentioned this morning on my podcast, the Silver and Black Lair Raiders edition. Be sure to go ahead and check that out here on my YouTube channel or at Out of the Box Sports, OOT Box Sports. And I talked about it this morning, saying I believe JPJ will be the starting center this year. I didn't think the Raiders were going to release Andre James just because they re-signed him to a multi-year contract before last season. But I said I do believe JPJ will be the Raiders starting quarterback, and this was after they signed Alex Kappa at guard. I said that tells me right away that JPJ is moving from the guard position to the center position, his natural position, where he played better last season than at guard. He got his feet wet at guard. When they put him at center, you can see him take over, and then you get to see him flourish. We saw the man flourish, came into his own, became um, a leader out there. I'd call him a leader out there. Emotional, uh, you know, feisty. A Raider. He's exemplifies the Raider attitude and what it is to be a Raider. So super happy that JPJ will be moving into that center role. Andre James, you know, it is what it is. I felt like 2023. I had a good season with the Raiders. 22, I think it was also. Last year, not so much. I think he played all that well last year. He had his moments, but he also missed a few games due to injury and what have you. So there's that. And finally, one last bit of news here in Raider land, Raider Nation land. Michael Gallup. Raiders signed Michael Gallup last year, before last season, free agent. And right before uh, preseason started, he retires. So he went through camps and workouts and stuff like that. Decided, maybe I'm not fit, to do this anymore. Maybe I don't have it in me. He retired. Just a week ago, I think it was, the Raiders released him from the reserved retired list, and that opened him up to sign him wherever he wants to. So now it appears that Michael Gallup is going to give it another go. He's going to come out of retirement and give her the old 1-2 once more. There we go. All right. So we'll see where he catches on at. And it doesn't really matter. He was never a Raider anyway. He signed the contract and retired before we could actually see him don the silver and black. So it is what it is. All right, so that's all I have. Be sure to check me out tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the Atomic Drop podcast here on this YouTube channel, the Batcave underscore OOTBSE, or more preferably, head on over to at Out of the Box Sports, at OOT Box Sports. Subscribe to that channel. You get all the Out of the Box Sports content, including all of my shows. Or if you just want my shows, just subscribe to this channel here, and you'll see my lovely mug 3-4 times a week. So, hooray! I like to have fun. So yeah, and also check out W Energy Drink, www.w.gg. Check out their energy drinks. They come in powder form and tubs, sampler packs. They also have hydration drinks, mixers, shakers, swag, and all that good stuff. If you're into anime, they have some pretty sweet anime shakers as well, and anime inspired energy drinks. So if you're into that stuff, check that out. I dig Dubby. I really do. I tried a couple of their flavors so far. It's a jitterless energy drink made from coffee, fruit extract, and all that good stuff. So check that out. W Energy. Use my promo code The Bat Cave. All one word. The Bat Cave. Capital T H E, capital B A T, capital C A V E. The Bat Cave for 10% off your order. And let me know your thoughts on that. All right. Talk to you later. See you later, Raider Nation. Just win, baby.